between the Chicago Bears and the Minnesota Vikings. The first quarter of the season already in the rearview mirror, and off we go in Week 5 on EA Sports.
And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone.
And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17.
Cousins looking to put it up right away.
And he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line.
Trent McDuffie
in there to record the second sack of his young NFL career.
Didn't have the greatest field position to start, did they? And now after this sack, it's way, way worse.
And right off the bat, first play of the game. So a tough early challenge here, 2nd and long after the sack. Another try after the first down sack. Cousins. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
They're bringing a lot of pressure here already in the first quarter. Already sacked him once. How to get in there and knock another one away. You think maybe that Tucker rule being gone makes defenses a lot bolder?
Yes, indeed. That time, lucky that the arm was going forward. Incomplete pass. Yeah, I don't think this is the script they had in mind for their opening drive. This is 3rd and long. Play fake. Cousins.
And he'll let this go deep for Lazard.
Oh, this is taken in. It's complete.
And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line. Well, he's been doing this for a lot of years with the arm strength still there, and he showed it off on that one.
Well, one way or the other, you knew they'd have to push the ball downfield on 3rd and long, but I'm not sure the defense was expecting to push it that far downfield. Their math didn't add up, but it certainly did for the offense.
Off the play fake, Cousins.
He'll get this one to Kelsey. That's complete. And they're going to move it down inside the 25.
That early game script that they drew up is working pretty well here on this first drive. Already in field goal range, Charles knocking on the door of the red zone.
You know, Brandon, when we met with the coaching staff, they kind of predicted that they would come out firing like this. I think you and I were a little skeptical that it'd be this easy. But they certainly knew what they were doing in scouting, in preparation, and understanding what their team was capable of.
They go play action. Cousins. And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32.
Trent McDuffie.
Now 2 sacks for him already here in this first quarter of play. Charles, a little bit of feast or famine on this drive. They moved the ball okay, but they've been sacked twice now.
And they've got to figure out how to plug that leak a little bit, right? Keep them away from the quarterback because when he's not being hit, as you mentioned, they're moving the ball well.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Cousins. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Alan Lazard, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Vikings will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. Tucker with the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
Pulls it in at the 13. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23.
Come on. Hey.
They start on the ground with Nick Chubb. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. Well, whatever they were trying to call,
Chad Muma had it read from the start, getting behind the line of scrimmage and dropping it.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Here's Huntley. Oh, he's going up top for Wilson.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Marcus May with a pick. And some space here. Uses the stiff arm.
Unfortunately for him, if last week was any indication, we knew a pick was coming at some point. Last week it was interception after interception, and here we go again.
We actually quit counting last week at a certain point because I thought I was going to run out of fingers, right? Because I'm not all that skilled as a mathematician. But you're right. It felt like a matter of time, and you got to think the guys on defense, they couldn't wait for this opportunity after what they saw on tape.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18.
Trying the left side with Kamara. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down.
It's not easy playing the corner, is it? A lot of times you got to defend against the pass, but sometimes you have to play against the run. How about the job he did there, crashing inside to make that tackle for a loss?
Now on 2nd and 13. Cousins. He's going to be sacked back at the 23-yard line.
Multiple players getting home there, and it's a loss of 2 on the sack.
And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game, I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center.
So now after the sack, Cousins and the Vikings come up here 3rd and long.
They'll look to throw. This is caught. Touchdown, Vikings.
Deebo Samuel,
23 yards for the touchdown.
and the Vikings are off to a 13-0 first quarter lead.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and that'll make the score 14-0. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
Pulls it in at the 13. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And they're in an early hole. First drive, they threw the interception. That led to a touchdown, so decent-sized deficit early on.
It is, but I think you hit the key words, early on. So they have to decide, do we even need to change game plan, or do we just need to execute better and try and get back in this game?
So just 3 yards on the completion there, and it'll be second down.
Huntley to throw.
Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring it down. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. That's out to Chubb, complete. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. The defense shaking their heads, not aggressive enough, and they allow him to convert a 3rd and 18.
They go with the empty set there, 5 receivers in the formation. Normally, you want to have a running back in to block, but in this case, he's lined up to the right, and he ends up getting the football. A lot of confusion caused defensively, and it turns into a big play.
To the 43, 2nd down.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
To throw, Huntley. And he fires one that's intercepted. There he goes, right side. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Making back-to-back weeks now with a pick 6 for him. He had one a week ago.
Talk about being in the groove, and what are the odds of what we're seeing right here? You don't see it happen very often. Listen, if you get a pick 6 in a season, it's been a big year, let alone back-to-back weeks. I'll tell you this, I'm going to play cards against this guy in the locker room.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Pulls it in at the 13. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive.
Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession, but I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. If they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Huntley steps away to his left. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game that has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try and pick up another 1st down.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And he'll be hauled down at about the 30-yard line. They got to get it to the 21 here on 3rd down. Back to throw again. Touchdown Bears. Garrett Wilson, 30 yards. And the Bears are able to cut into that deficit. Extra point attempt to come here. It's up, it's good, and that'll cut the lead to 21-7.
Makes the score Vikings 41, Bears 7.
Here is Wisnowski to boot it away following the touchdown. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Cost him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And they are trying to create some separation within the division. And look, CD, I know that this is still the first half of the season, but this is a big matchup no matter where it falls because these are the top 2 teams right now in that division.
And if you can build a bit of a cushion as you head towards the second part of the season, that allows you to survive the expected injuries, potential upset losses, all of those things, and still be in good shape.
Throwing again on second down, but this time it's incomplete.
Well, you most certainly don't want to go 3 and out here and give the football right back because your friend, Old Momentum, he's wondering if he should change sidelines about right now. And if you don't convert here, guess what? He's going to make the trek to the opposite side, and all of a sudden, you've got a battle on your hands.
Play action now. Cousins. Open man, it's the tight end, Kelsey. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
Normally on third down and short yardage, you're thinking of throwing to your tight end. It's just going to be a simple chain mover. But this time they let him roam down the field, and a nice dart picks up the first down and then some.
They'll bring a receiver in motion left. Again, it's Cousins. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
But one thing we certainly know, he likes to take those risks deep downfield during games, coverage or not. The coverage was there on that one. No catch, but he's also fortunate. No turnover either.
Throwing again, Cousins on 2nd and 10. And this is caught right along the sideline. What a job of keeping the toes in bounds there. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain. Cousins to throw it. That's going to be caught. Touchdown! Kirk Cousins with 3 touchdown passes now in the afternoon.
And the Vikings have moved out in front by 3 touchdowns.
Tucker with the extra point, and a lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
A fairly short kick from the 14. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense.
Right now, Charles, it just feels like they're trying to keep pace. They did score the touchdown last time out, but they still trail by double digits here. We'll see if this offense is once again up to the task.
Yeah, and I think that after the last drive, they've got to be pretty revved up, don't you think? Everything they were doing was working pretty well. They go back out there with the same mindset, play at the same tempo and the same pace. Still a lot of time left to make something happen in this one.
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Huntley. And he can't hang on to it, and the screen never got started.
You've always been very good about checking my math. Am I correct? The this the first time that it's been incomplete when they've thrown it to him?
Yes, he had caught every other ball that come his way.
So they feel like they've got something really good going there, and they're going to continue to go there until the defense makes an adjustment and takes it away.
Well, they finally made an adjustment there. We'll see if they can build on that stuff.
On third down, Huntley. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked up by DJ Reed. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
I mean, at this point, CD, what is not going their way in this first half? After that pick six, they now have a 4-possession lead here.
And that allows them to say to themselves, how about we get everybody involved, okay? Because this one is a runaway, and it's looking like it's going to be even more of a runaway. Everybody gets a chance to play and get a little bit of love. The more guys that get to watching the highlight reels from this one, the better.
Pulls it in at the 13. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive.
And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated. But this defense is certainly organized and playing off of each other because the rush is providing pressure and the coverage is forcing incompletions and capitalizing on mistakes. When you get every level on defense hitting at once, you get first-half scores just like this one.
Back to the air on second down. Huntley.
Going out wide, finds Chubb.
And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. Mark that down as a pickup of 13, and the Bears have the first.
And I don't think there's any question that this offense is going to need to hit on a few more plays like this. It's been a difficult first half for them, to say the least. And I do believe if they want to get back in this game, they need to start right now. It's kind of like making adjustments. If you try and wait until the half, it's probably too late. They need to get going right here.
On first and 10, Huntley. He's got a man, complete. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Again, he'll drop to throw. And he gets it to his running back, Nick Chubb.
And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line. Now 2nd and 8 at the 32-yard line.
They'll look to throw again.
And this will be well too low for him to bring in. It's incomplete.
His back has been a dependable safety valve all game, so he went back to him when his first read was covered. Just unable to connect, so the play results in no gain.
And we've got movement. I think this is against the Bears here. Let's find out. So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now. 3rd and long. Back to throw. Huntley. And he'll be hit as he releases it. And that'll fall incomplete. A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now with the short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range.
On 4th down, Huntley. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack. The Bears tried it on 4th down, unable to convert. And the Vikings defense is going to get the football back. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted.
Trent McDuffie with a pick. And the Bears are going to get it back here just past the 35. And, Charles, that's now 4 interceptions over his last 3 halves of football because, remember, he threw 3 picks last week.
Starting to wonder if maybe defenses and those coordinators have identified something on tape with what he's doing. Maybe a movement, maybe the way he's moving his shoulders. Who knows what it could be? He could have a few tells out there that they're keying in on and allowing defenses to get to.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today.
And the Vikings will have the football as this is taken up past the 30. Well, Charles, you know, so close to halftime there. You throw the interception. Not only that, you do give it to them in plus territory as well.
Yeah, they were pushing real hard to try and get something more on the board on their side of the ledger right before the half. Looking at it with 20/20 hindsight, though, might have been better to hand it off a few times, hoping to get something to break instead of putting the ball in the air and, of course, putting the ball in jeopardy.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw.
And he'll let this go deep for Lazard. And they're going to move it down to inside the 25.
Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Here's Cousins. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. Alan Lazard in the final seconds of the first half.
And the Vikings continue to pull away here in this first half.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point. And a rout is on here in this first half.
So time enough for a kickoff here. 5 seconds remaining in this first half. Taken at the 15, a short kick.
Let's go now.
And they're just going to run it here up the middle. And he's going to be taken down here as that will lead us to the end of the first half of play. So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, and we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon, getting set for quarter number 3 here. The Bears going to see the football first, and they trail here as we get back underway to start this second half. Pulls it in at the 13. And he'll get it up just past the 20 as his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And they have a mountainous deficit looming in front of them. It was really, Charles, a disaster of a first half. So where do they go from here?
Well, first thing they have to remember is that what's done is done, and there's no going back. And now you have to play this drive by drive. Obviously, come back in this spot, pretty unlikely. But you still have to go out, take pride in your work, and try and put something together here in the second half.
From the 21, it's 2nd and 10. Looking to throw. Huntley. And now here's another interception. Picked off by Darquez Dennard.
And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football.
Partner, I see you reaching for a white flag. Put it down. I don't want you throwing it, but I understand why. Because if you do, you're hoping they might actually stop this game because we're in blowout territory right now. That interception just surrendered any momentum they built up in the locker room during halftime. So game plan, it's in the garbage. Time to try something new in this one.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
And to put it mildly, this is a tough spot defensively. They have to come right back out and defend their red zone. But how about that good first step towards forcing them to settle for at least 3 points? I think they're also thinking bigger right now. Imagine being able to stop them totally and change the momentum.
On play action, Cousins. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. Third down.
Well, he certainly thought he had an open look beyond the first down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
On third down, Cousins.
Finding Alvin Kamara for the completion.
And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal.
And remember, this drive started off following the turnover, and they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there, and now they're looking at a first and goal.
Now Cousins. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Travis Kelce with career touchdown number 70.
And the Vikings have taken a 6-touchdown lead.
Tucker with the extra point, and the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
Pulls it in at the 13. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive.
Now, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
To throw on second down.
Huntley, that's taken in by Duvernay.
Call it a gain of a yard, and they'll be facing a 3rd and 12.
The goal of the wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
We'll see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a first down.
To throw on third down.
Huntley. He has a man. It's complete to Wilson. And he will have the Bears first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
There's a nice pickup right there. And after watching that play, I'm thinking about all the lost opportunities that they've had so far in this game. But right now, just focus on continuing to move the ball the way they did on the last play.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Back to throw. Huntley. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
He'll try again with the arm here on second down. And a completion to Wilson.
And they're going to get this up to midfield.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Pushes him over.
And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it could turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
Looking to throw on second down. Huntley. And my goodness, another interception. And the Vikings will have solid field position here as they take over at their 45-yard line. What a nightmarish game he's having now. 6 interceptions that he has thrown.
Absolutely unbelievable, isn't it? Hard to believe we're watching this and have seen it, but it just tells you about the game of football. It giveth and it taketh away.
Yeah, the guys, though, that have thrown 6 interceptions in a game, the likes of Peyton Manning, Brett Favre, and Joe Namath, he did it 3 times. And a nice gain of 21 yards. Off the play fake, Cousins. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And incomplete on the deep ball.
When you look at the scoreboard, you'd think they'd be pretty comfortable right now with this lead, but these guys are absolutely not going to let up. They want to increase their lead, and they want to do it with a big play. Unable to connect in that attempt.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Cousins. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
You can tell they wanted to get that ball downfield. They had nothing working in the secondary, so he dropped it off to the running back. That one ended up incomplete.
So now 3rd and 10. They had the big play to start the drive, but 2 incompletions since. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked by Antoine Winfield Jr. Well, with the size of lead that this offense has, I don't think that interception is really going to affect them much. But at least for this defense, something small to hang their hat on.
Yeah, and let's face it, they're not even scoreboard watching anymore, right? They're just trying their best to make a play, get themselves off the field, which they just did, and salvage a little bit of pride in this one.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. They begin this drive with Chubb. They'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. They run it again with Chubb. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44.
Here's Huntley.
And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
Certainly looked like someone was very confident in his ability to fit that one in. I would say he was overconfident because there wasn't a whole lot of separation there. Had that one covered pretty well downfield and knocked it away.
They go with Chubb on 2nd down. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. They'll run for it. Here's Chubb. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports.
Here we go, here we go.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And the tackle going to be made at the 38. So the 4th down conversion has him inside the 40 now, 1st and 10. Huntley to throw. He finds Wilson. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. That's out to Chubb, complete. Touchdown, Bears! Nick Chubb, a 14-yard touchdown.
And the Bears get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this 4th quarter deficit.
Extra point up and through as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play.
Here is Wisnowski to boot it away following the touchdown. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway.
You just kind of feel for the defense right now. This deficit, they have not been able to stop them the entire game, Charles. And some hands on hips, some long faces out there on the defensive side. They're like, oh my gosh, we got to face these guys again here.
Yeah, people don't understand how hard it is when you're on the side that's being dominated to keep your head up and continue to play hard. And that's what they're going through right now, trying to find that pride inside of them to allow them to continue to fight, even though they are down huge in this game. Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
The Vikings on 3rd down. They've been near perfect, 4 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 7. Play fake. Cousins. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Well, up big here in the 4th quarter, up really big. That passing incompletion, I don't think they needed the completion, but Charles, this is an offense right now that they're just having fun. They're clicking on all cylinders.
Yeah, you're right. They didn't need a completion. They certainly don't need any more points. But they're not going to turn them down. They're going to continue to run what they have in their playbook, and they still want to run it efficiently.
A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And it'll be 1st and 10 Bears from deep in their own territory. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive.
We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this 4th quarter.
And he gets this one just shy of the 35 to the 34.
To throw, Huntley.
Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
60 Vikings, 60 Vikings.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. And now here's another interception. Picked off by Casey Hayward.
And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football. Well, they've got the huge lead. Now they have another interception on the defensive side. Seems like everything they touch in this one, Charles, turns to gold.
And they have to be awfully happy right there to get what appears to be one more for the road and help seal away one of their best efforts of the season.
Following the interception, Cousins. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time.
Picked by Antoine Winfield Jr. And the Bears are going to have the football here at their own 35-yard line.
Now they get a 4th quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That's a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other, but it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
Well, we've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. And they are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. And I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away.
And he will have the Bears first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. Now, fourth quarter, certainly not enough time for a comeback, but nice to see them making use of the time remaining to try and make this one a little more respectable.
Yeah, I think the ultimate goal, good execution, be crisp, be sharp, and find a way to put some points on the board to make this thing look just a little bit better.
That's caught inside the 20. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A really good pickup of 28 yards. And they'll send the slot in motion left. Back to throw again. And this is caught. Well, they get one back. Picking up the late touchdown here, but still down big.
So still throwing here in the fourth quarter with a pretty sizable lead, and now that lead even more sizable. And if nothing else here, CD, a chance to pile on some stats before this one wraps up, and he did just that.
Brandon, convention tells us it's time for them to get off the gas a little bit, right? But you and I both know the receivers don't want them to because, as you noted, this is their chance to pile on the stats. If they got their way, they try to get every single spot in the depth chart points before this game is over.
Here is Wisnowski to boot it away following the touchdown. And this is going to be returned from middle of the end zone. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And this crowd has certainly liked what they've seen. Their guys fully expected to win this one coming in, and they have not disappointed as they've got the big lead here in the fourth.
And he'll find some space up to about the 25. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short. Again, it's Kamara. And he gets this up to the 34, out of bounds there. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. Throwing here, Cousins. And that's going to be too high, out of bounds and incomplete.
I think it's fairly safe to call this game over, but they're still trying to bomb it downfield and add to their lead. Almost makes you start to feel for the defense and root for them a little bit, too.
On second down, Cousins again. Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bears sack. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
A CD, a little bit of feast or famine for him. He's had some success throwing the football, but also now he's been sacked 4 times.
Yeah, you just mentioned the 4 sacks, but you're right. He has managed to hang in there and make plays at times. His offensive line, they've got to figure it out and pick things up and give it.
He's got a man complete. A big play there for Minnesota. 68 yards.
continuing to keep their foot on the gas. It looks like they're just having fun out there. They're loose, they're free, and they're enjoying what the scoreboard looks like.
I'd have to say I agree with you totally. They're having a blast out there all game long. When they throw the football, they're picking up nice chunks of real estate, significant yardage on just about every throw that they make. And there's another one there, and they continue to have that fun that you just talked about.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Working out of the gun, Cousins.
The quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete. But their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, it's been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy, because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out, because this one, it was over a long time ago.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
A CD, they're up big, but they're still passing it. I mean, this is an offense that's had a lot of success in this game, and it seems like they're just having fun out there.
And it does feel like there's been a shift out there, doesn't it, partner? Listen, if you're up, you can continue to do what you want to do. It's up to the other team to make you change how you do things. They'll continue to throw it around until stopped.
Now Cousins on 4th down. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They can't hook up here on the 4th down pass attempt, and the Bears will get the football back. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense.
Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to...
And my goodness, another interception.
And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football.
Yes, folks, that is his 3rd interception, and I'm going to use one of the most overused phrases in football. He's a ball-hawking safety.
I love the way that you called for the shot there. That's perfect, though, because there is something to that. Being a safety often allows you freedom to roam around the defense, maybe not a specific assignment. Today, his assignment, find the football, and he's done so quite well.
Now, here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete.
The incompletion there stops the clock. Any surprise they're throwing here late?
Ordinarily, yes, because you would think enough is enough. They've got plenty of lead, but I've seen this a bunch of times as well. The defense is going to crowd the line of scrimmage. If you just hand it off inside, you're getting your running back popped a lot as well. Sometimes the defense dictates it. If they're going to crowd it, you may have no other choice but to throw it down.
And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown.
Another touchdown here in the 4th quarter. And, Charles, I think we can start to consider that this undefeated streak of theirs is going to be safe for another week.
Well, partner, you don't make it this far into a season without a loss unless you're getting contributions from both sides of the ball, and sometimes even your special teams. And that's been true today. Each side helping guide them to this late lead.
Taken from about the 12. And that final kickoff concludes the ball game, partner. One side, a really nice win in this one. They were good on offense and on defense.
And I'm guessing in the other locker room, partner, the head coach is just telling his team, hey, we didn't play well enough to keep it close enough. With that one possession down the stretch, might have given us an opportunity to win the game.
So for Minnesota, they improved to 5-0 now on the young season. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Miami Dolphins. Meanwhile, for Chicago, they drop below 500 to 2-3 with a loss.
And they will be back home next week for a date with Washington.
I told my boss, it ain't no limit.